then it makes you get into all those kind of, it's like a roller coaster. Once you're at the top of it and it starts, you just know so. So that is very interesting observation, and in that case, this has to happen. It will always happen. Next century, something else will happen. We don't know who's going to be the Hitler of the next century.
What if I say, ma'am, let's assume
I mean this century.
No, I understood your question.
This century we already have one.
I mean,
That's why I looked at you, Amit.
I don't fear anybody. I have shot down their supporters on social media and everywhere. So I don't fear anybody.
so, let's assume that, okay, let's assume that I lead a company, okay, and it's a part of a particular industry. Now, if I, as a leader, if I fail to observe that this industry is going to be non-existent after some years, then shouldn't I take action before that?
Right.
Now-
But what history shows is that
Yes, I'm not saying it's easy.
however many good people and leadership,
Yes.
they would
So-
eventually fail.
So now, let's suppose I don't do that, okay, and I say everything is fine, that's one approach. Second approach is, I don't see it at all.
Yeah,
And
that's
I-
the real time. You're talking real
No,
time. What I'm
I-
talking is a larger perspective.
Yes, I'll come to that now. Now what happens is, once I do all this, 10 years down the line when people look at what I did as a leader, they will say that I've failed, which is right. Why? Because I was incompetent as a leader. As a leader, one of the characteristics of a leader is probably, as I mentioned, understanding what is going on in the external and the internal environment. If I fail to do that, then I'm trying to handle more than I can do. And if and to be very honest, and I have no qualms in accepting, if I fail to do that, I am an incompetent leader. And most leaders won't do that, because what happens is, people won't say that I'm good no more. People will continue to hang on. And that's where the problem happens. But yes, it's not only about the leader, like you said. It's about lot many factors which affects an organization's performance in the longer run. But what we are trying to say is, if you're a competent leader, then probably you should be able to see, for example in Shell, I don't know how many, in Shell there is a famous, strategy session which is called scenario planning. And in scenario planning what happens is, they paint the picture what is going to happen to the world 20 years down the road. It might be right, it might be wrong, but they at least try to do that. I know many companies, millions of companies who don't even make an attempt to do
Right,
that.
right. I know.
So-
Possibly Infosys is another example of it.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to mention two things.
And probably another example where one leader cannot survive in different contexts.
And
Right.
another reason is that, the way they have risen the packages of their vice presidents last, it's gone like 4 times, 5 times. So again,
See, basically they had to. Because Sikka
Poaching
came
has to
in.
stop. No, poaching has to stop.
The two things, one was Infosys. Probably we are reading each other's minds. One is Ratan Tata and the other is Narayan Murthy. Like you mentioned in your slide, don't hang up for a lot of
Hang around for too long, yes.
too long. So Narayan Murthy was the first one to step down and let Nandan
but they had
Nilekani
to step in again.
he had to step. That is a different issue. But
So
again,
No
but
rule,
again,
that's what I'm saying, no thumb rule in
yeah,
this.
though no thumb rule, and Ratan Tata also handed over to the young generation or whatever. And I think one of the best things that Mr. Murthy did in his second tenure, forcibly, was he had to bring in a guy from the outside, not from the Infosys thing. So that sort of gives you an idea of the leadership quality that he has. He has a vision. Before things could go wrong and somebody else using some other means.
So why did he bring in KV Kamath?
Sorry?
Why did he bring in KV Kamath?
That was his first mistake. Because I had challenged people that bringing KV Kamath, he's from a different sector altogether. He doesn't understand IT at all.
What if
I
he
mean-
had stayed put in the first place itself? Maybe
Which
Infosys
one?
wouldn't have faced the issues.
Which one?
What if he had stayed put right in the first place? What if he had hanged around long enough and not stepped outside?
No,
So again,
that is the vision that he followed. He knew there is a young guy, a guy from my domain who is much better than, who can do a much better job than me. So I think the guys after him were useless, pretty useless. Seriously. That is why KV Kamath had to be brought in. But again,
Middlebury Estates for?
Like success and failure are
Huh.
very
So
subjective.
Barbara makes it very
When
simple.
we come to specifics,
Barbara
how
says-
anybody ABC. But we don't
See,
get-
first of all, when she mentions these, these categories of bad leadership, she is not referring to the leader at all. She is referring to the leadership process.
process.
Exactly.
That's what I was
So,
talking about.
because
That
if you-
crisis.
Sorry?
That's what I was talking
See, when you talk about crisis, my understanding of what you want to mean is the crisis of so-called good leaders.
Because some people, they are not leaders, but they are definitely transformers.
I mean, the problem is, ma'am, if you look at fundamentally the definition of leadership, it's value-free. The problem is, there are many people who are trying to define leadership, and they've all defined it in their ways. So they've attached different kinds of value. So I gave some examples of Lawrence Summers and all those Burns and all. So everybody is trying to define it their own way. But leadership, in itself, if you look at the definition, which I mentioned right at the beginning, it's not about good or bad. It's about leadership as a process. It's about leaders, followers, the context, everything. And what happens is, when you cut through this, then you suddenly see that some things are right here, some things are not right here. So sometimes the process goes wrong, sometimes the output goes wrong, sometimes the leaders go wrong, sometimes the followers go wrong. And the entire picture gets distorted. And that's what she refers to as bad. And what she mentions is that when she, kind of categorizes, she's not, kind of referring only to the leader. And that's one of the problems, as I mentioned, in our, way of how we look at leadership also. We focus generally on the leader. It's all about the leader. The rest is all forgotten. Yeah, I have somebody else.
Anirban, but one thing is, like whatever we have discussed, to sum up, very difficult to separate a leader and leadership. There is overlapping.
Of
The
course.
process, you are saying the leadership is the process, but then the leader's mindset. See, the goal, is a perception, right? So like what she said, Hitler's aim was something, it was his perception and it was best. Al-Qaeda's aim may be bad from ethical perspective from our side, but from their leadership, yeah, it's the thing, they want to do it for Islam. So it's a perception, so it's very difficult to separate a leader's perception and the leadership process. And I think there's a kind of little overlap.
Of course, as I
And because
mentioned,
of this overlap, you rightly started at the beginning, it's confusion,
it's not only
because
confusion, ma'am. If you look at the diagram, I've put a funnel.
But
So
again,
in
sir,
the environment, the
output
leader
is
and the
important from
followers are
funnel
kind of
perspective,
embedded.
right?
Sorry?
The output is important, right, in the funnel?
Because why the output is important is because that's how we generally judge leadership.
Right.
Because when we say somebody is a good leader, we first look at the output.
Right.
That's the normal tendency.
So output for Al-Qaeda,
Yes.
from their perspective, it's their mindset, right?
What is let's
Yeah,
let's
so
let's
that's
forget
what-
what Al Qaeda has done.
No, I'm just talking about
let's
the
for time
perception,
being.
how do you
Right.
look at
Let's
it,
let's for a time
Yeah, I
being.
think where you have mentioned already is the ethical part, the bigger picture,
Exactly.
the humanitarian picture.
Correct.
See, the Al Qaeda philosophy, I don't find it a lot different from what Hitler professed.
Exactly.
It's dominance,
Yes,
fundamentally
yes.
dominance, right?
Exactly.
Now the question is, if dominance is a philosophy, then probably what is questionable is the means that they're kind of deploying.
Exactly.
That's probably is questionable. Now, who doesn't want to dominate? Today, Al Qaeda. Yesterday, it was Alexander the Great, and day before yesterday, and
No,
probably
why
it
not?
was
Why not a business house? They also
absolutely,
want to dominate.
absolutely, absolutely,
Even if people die, they don't care.
absolutely,
They have those parachute deals.
absolutely. Not only,
लोग मर रहे हैं उधर, वो चलो विक्रम पंडित $2 million
Exactly.
लेके चले जाता है.
exactly,
So what is the difference between him and Osama bin Laden? There's no difference.
exactly, and that's exactly. See,
And just like America and Obama wants to dominate the world, there's not much difference between him and the rest of the.
the objectives are fundamentally the same.
Same.
The point here is how do they use get to the
हम
objective.
उनके घुन जाते हैं फालतू में.
When they said that,
The problem, sir, is this leadership industry
yes,
has been started and is being run fundamentally by the United States of America.
exactly.
That's where it comes from, and that's what we follow.
In the underline, I have to grant you one thing. I'll confess. I've been a leader throughout my life. I've led people in battle. Today, I really came to know what is a leadership process. If you would have asked me before this lecture, I would have said, यार वो ऐसे होता है कि एक एम मैं बता देता हूँ और मेरे को